Hey, my name is Shawnshawn. I sell art on shawnshawn.co. Today we're going to react to Chris Hong art. So Chris Hong art, she's an illustrative style painter artist. She has on the top little tiny sketches of different style of art she does, so you get a feel that it's kind of childlike illustrative style work. Very cute. She has decorative piece of herself in the middle, which is really cute. As her profile, she has a picture of her face, like pretty much spot on, which is what you want. She has kind of a salute, which is really funny, like reporting to duty. You might want to do it with a paintbrush, but it's really cute. She has like kind of a swirl in the background, so it's a very iconographic style of profile. That'll pop really well. So really what I would encourage also a smile. You might want to include teeth, but it's a really strong style. She has one of her intro videos as her illustration process, so it kind of goes through how she goes about her illustrative style, which that's what she does. At the top, she has videos play all, and then she has demos, so demonstrations. She has cafe hop diaries, portrait studies, studio book stories, mixed media, color pencils, and shorts. So she's broken this out pretty much ideally probably how you want. I think she should add one more, which would be popular videos, and I would put that at the very top and just select the top 5 to 10 videos and just put that in one playlist at the very top, because if someone finds that, they find the page, they click on the popular videos, you know, 70 to 90% of your people are brand new. So if they see that, they're going to click through and see more of your videos and increase your watch time and subscriber base. So let's go to the first video. I got a cat here too, see? The first video is called Portrait Study Walkthrough from Start to Finish. Yeah, I was trying to figure out why the lighting was all goofy. I was like, it's too light in the background.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Splashed your name right across.
For today's video, I wanted to walk
I would do a headshot
through
introduction.
Study. I wanted to riff off of my last week's video where I walked you guys through how I like to do my warm-up sketches, and this time I wanted to warm up my painting skills, and specifically my watercolor painting skills, because
so it's nice she's kind of rotating through different shots
in quite a
palette,
long time.
the paper, bring out the paints.
All
right, let's skip through to the actual process.
I have to keep in mind when I'm painting this will be to keep the area in light as possible, to preserve the white of the paper as much as possible, because once you start darkening the paper with paint, it's hard to get the white of the paper back. So while I'm painting this, I think the most important thing to keep in mind is to be mindful of what is...
All right, let's skip through the more painting here.
Not bad. She is rather purple right now, but I'm definitely going down.
Definitely purple.
Some warms.
So it's kind of nice. She's using realistic speed plus speed time lapse.
I have to be pretty quick about this. This may look.
The camera's a little challenging. It's going in and out of focus. So some cameras do that, like the Sony's. But you can just set the camera to manual focus on the paper and then just lock it in. That's probably what I would encourage.
Bringing in some of that warmth I was...
I'm gonna skip ahead a little more, guys.
The color is probably not as...
Ooh, these colors are developing. It's beautiful.
Perceive it to be, because this is in shadow and it's being affected
very juicy
by
colors.
Cool skylight. So making sure this outer edge is clean.
Again, she's rotating between realistic to slower painting, so that's really nice. Because you compact the video a lot more that way, but at the same time you give a little bit feel for how she actually paints. She's adding some really darks there.
I think leaving it understated is more tasteful than overstated.
Yeah, I would tend to make it too dark. I don't have a really good feel for watercolor at this point.
Things in shadow, our eyes are not as drawn to it as much, so we pick up less detail in the shadow. So I think we can get away with that.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little more, guys. I like too, she has the photo of the girl, so you kind of got a feeling what she's going after.
Bring in some color.
Or some people wouldn't like that you're copying straight from a photo, but
and some
it's just easier with a portrait like this, because they don't move around while you're painting. It becomes irritating. The light changes too. With natural painting,
it may need
natural light
to read like a nose. Maybe it needs a little more definition here, but I really don't want to overdo it. I don't want it to read like I mean, I want it to read like a nose, but I don't want it to be so literal.
Her sound quality is really good in here
Makes
too.
sense.
There's not much of
I
an
just
echo.
want to very
nice.
delicately suggest it. I really like that very clean shape there, so I don't want to mess with that. I was gonna go into it, but I don't think I will, so I'm gonna back off there.
Yeah, this is very tricky. Let's scroll ahead a little bit more, guys. Wow, look at the eyes develop.
Oh, because I can.
Boy, it's amazing.
So yeah, I think basically I'm done. Before I finish the picture, I'm actually going to now...
It's interesting, her face is more dollish, more childlike, I think, than the actual teenager she's
I
painting.
leave that last because it's easiest to control it that way. I want it to be very light, but I don't want it to be...
It's nice she has this voiceover to go along too with the video,
some sort of a hue there,
which makes it much more popular, I would say.
This is hair. I think I just need to bring out like a few little creases.
I like this really idea of just tiny highlights in watercolor. You can get at this a lot of blurriness and
Referring back to
just
the
tiny touches like that.
and picking out what I see. And
I'm surprised she hasn't darkened the other eye.
it should be emphasized.
One eye pops, the other is kind of blurry.
Out. I think the last thing I will, well, not the last thing.
I'm gonna go to the final end to see how it looks like, guys.
Far right side of the face here.
She still hasn't tightened that eye in, I'm
Leave it like
surprised.
that. That's an artistic choice because I don't really see that in the photo.
Like the eye would tighten on the right.
And
left, I mean.
Lastly.
It's just too dark,
just
and
making
is it
sure
that way in the
some
photo?
of
But
the
sometimes you
dark
just interpret and clear
edges
that up in a
are
painting.
dark enough and they're hard enough that they
Like I would definitely harden
feel
the eye.
like there's structure there.
But very,
It's
very
usually
beautiful
the
style.
undersides of stuff. So the underside of the lip there.
But the eyes drive me
Underside
nuts.
of
I'm like,
the
I want that
lip.
sharpness there. Like one is perfect and the other side's all blurry. It's that way in the photo, but it's like I want the white more obvious and the
Here.
dark of the eye better.
Right. I think that's it.
I think it's a pretty good shot. I didn't like how she finished that eye, like she left it open. I would have tightened that, but she's a more accomplished illustrator than me, so the newest one is called My Favorite Way to Paint Using Acrylics Like Watercolors, Mixed Media Illustration Process.
Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you
I guess she
are
has her
new
own
here,
book,
my
which is
name
really
is
cool.
Chris Hong and I'm an artist and I
So it's
make
really smart.
art-related YouTube videos.
You kind of show your
It's
illustration
2024
process.
and I
It's really
am
smart.
thrilled to be sharing my first illustration of the year with you all. I decided to turn this old drawing that I did back in maybe as early as late 2017
We're going to scroll to the painting part.
for the color palette since I'll be working in translucent layers. So basically, I use the acrylics like it is watercolor. I have like the heavy body golden brand acrylics and
That's the
I
best.
water it down pretty thinly. The only thing is I have to work pretty fast, otherwise the pool of pigment will settle very quickly, and I am going from like a darker blue near the top and gradually getting lighter below because I'm imagining the lighting coming from below. Figuring out the lighting is definitely a guessing game for me. I don't always know what I'm doing, to be honest, but I just tell myself that, logically, if the light is coming from below, then shadows will be cast above. And
Again, really good voiceover commenting about her process.
it's like, it makes sense.
Really adds a lot
Sometimes
to
it doesn't
the
look
painting
good and
process.
I don't follow through with it.
Let's scroll ahead up more, guys.
And this is another takeaway that I had from that failed illustration that I was working on prior to this one, which is that I need to start bringing in color pencils earlier on in the process to regain control of the drawing. Why early? Because early on in the process, the paint isn't as built up. It will apply more smoothly and it won't skip as much, and create like a grainy texture, which I really don't like. And also I'm realizing that I need to constantly kind of check in and make sure my drawing is not just kind of
Really beautiful. Let's go hold a little bit, guys.
or fight me process video. I overlaid tracing paper to try and map out these background elements. I wasn't really sure what I wanted, but in my mind and in my color comps, I imagined some kind of layering of some shapes like stars, diamonds, and circles. I just wanted there to be these kind of large geometric shapes in front and behind the character to create a sense of depth. So I ended up going with mostly stars and circles, and I drew a little...
Scroll ahead a little bit more, guys. It's a little cool to add those little tiny elements. It makes a more dreamy feel to it. The music's really good too. It has this kind of childlike quality to the music. So really great picks for the music.
I figured that since the teddy bear is the focal point and the whole kind of shtick of the picture, I need to start bringing the teddy bear to a finish. So it sets the benchmark for how finished the rest of the picture is going to look. So I went in and...
Scroll ahead more, guys.
Fortunately forgot to record the start of me putting in the stars, but I made a decision last minute to bring the stars in towards the face so that they could also read like tears or maybe even freckles. Once I went in with the acrylics for the stars, I bring back colored pencils again and try to kind of diffuse the stars a little bit so they're not so stark like circles on the page, because I felt like that kind of looked kind of stamped on. Diffusing the borders of the stars and working them more into the background, I felt like that actually made them look more like stars. I think I may have gone a touch too far in adding a little too many stars maybe, but I really think these finishing touches...
Scroll to the final here.
In the like middle range and pastel.
It's very cool because it's not realistic colors, but it's very comes together.
I'll be making prints of this piece for the upcoming Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle next month, where I'll be attending.
I'm going to go to the next video. How AI art is changing my artistic process, acrylic and color. So I thought this was a cool video in the sense that anyone doing realism or illustrative work, they're going to be highly impacted by AI because the AI can just literally just copy your work really quickly. It doesn't have that artistic feel, but it's going to feel exactly like your work. So it's a real danger to this style of artwork. I'm not sure about abstract as long as you don't film it. Like I filmed a lot of my abstract process, so probably it's easy to copy. But yeah, there just could be issues like that.
Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'll be sharing my thoughts and process for my latest illustration that I've titled Love Me or Fight Me. If you've been around my channel, you may notice that
the one thing that can improve this is she had a headshot, like talk to the camera directly and then fade off to this, I think would improve it a little bit more connection with the artist, but maybe she wants to be a little more behind the scenes, so to say.
Recovering from a cold.
I want to skip ahead to the video, more into it.
Beyond the still image that they see on the screen.
So again, really nice background music, very light,
with goes with this style of her painting. Becoming more of a thing, maybe that's only going to make me want to feel even more connected with my own work. I want to feel like more connected with my own work. I want to feel more present in the process of making it, and I want to honor the experience that I have in creating.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little more, guys.
Like a chore, or
I like the
there are some other motivations behind creating the work, but this time around with this illustration, I really felt like it was an experience for me in helping to process the feelings that I was feeling, and I was just genuinely excited to put it out there and see if others felt similarly, or see if they interpreted it maybe differently than I had intended, or I was just really excited to get it out there. And
again, very delicate hands, very
emergence of
great
AI
color
art.
control in her work. Let's scroll ahead a little bit more.
This is how you can get paid at least $50 an hour just for reading scripts into your phone for at least an hour a day.
So much, like way too much. I don't know why, but I do. I truly think that me being as obsessive as I am with how my work looks, like that is what has shaped my work and my style over the years to make it recognizable and identifiable as my own.
Like AI art can't take away from that feeling, that satisfaction of someone just being able to recognize a certain arrangement of line, shape, and color, and how they rendered this stupid little hair strand, and like being able to recognize the artist behind just the certain quirks in the work. Like that is such a satisfying feeling. I don't know. So for
I'm gonna scroll further ahead, guys.
manually, so I
Wow,
looked
look at
up
the
some
detail in our work.
tutorial
It's amazing.
on YouTube on how to add that in Photoshop. I took a photo of the piece and then I put it up on Photoshop, and I went through the tutorial, and I did like a mock-up in Photoshop, and that's how I was able to add it in manually, because otherwise I would have no clue what I was doing. Basically how I did it was I offset my drawing like a little bit to the side with like a cyan kind of color, and then the opposite side maybe with like a magenta color, and that produces that like trippy, like glitchy image effect. So if you're interested in recreating that for yourself, definitely just look it up on YouTube. There'll be.
Let's scroll ahead a little more.
My best bet is to take it to like a fine art photography studio where they can take a high res photograph of my painting, so that the neon colors don't just
Super
die
trippy.
in the scan.
Very,
If not prints, at least
her colors really
have
stand
it.
out. I'm gonna go check out her website. I think just by looking at it right off the glance, it might be a Shopify site. It just says Home Shop Tutorials Skillshare. It's a very simple setup. She has some of her examples of her works. You can kind of click through here. Got some stickers as well. So it's kind of cool because you can click through these different stuff here. And super reasonable prices just for these prints. It's obviously copies of the original work, but you know, to start collecting some really cool work for 12 bucks, it's like a no-brainer, right? I'm just so curious. Yeah, it's powered by Shopify. That's what my guess was. I was like, it's got to be a Shopify. It just looks like that Shopify look. So she has prints. I think that's what we were already on. So they're a little more, 20 bucks. I mean, 20 bucks is super reasonable, right? You can sell this all day for 20 bucks. She has stickers and books. So she's made one book, so that's really nice. She has tutorials, so that's, I'm assuming, those aren't bad. $30, $5 a class, not much. Just more in-depth kind of training versus what she probably puts on YouTube. Let's go back. It doesn't have the same look and feel as the main page, so that's a little bit dangerous. I think because she's using Shopify, and Shopify only does really the selling part, and then everything else is just kind of added on. So she has some Skillshare classes, which I guess are more in depth than her tutorials. It's a very simple going website. It does nothing about her. It doesn't have the videos per se. I don't think, maybe on the tutorials it does. No, so she could be doing, that one page just looks different than the whole rest of this page, which is a little bit of a challenge. But she could do videos embedded from YouTube, but I don't think you can do that in Shopify. That's what my guess is. I can do it on my Weebly site. So, and then you can convert it to different currencies. She takes different currencies, I guess, which is really cool. She has her Facebook, Instagram. She does have a YouTube link, so she has links out here, but they're very subtle. So it's not very obviously you're going to find this right away, which you don't want people to find. You want to kind of dead end into your shop, and then you don't really want the shop to go back out to your social media and get lost in social media, get on Instagram, and then you're lost on the Instagram page and you see the competition. Or same if you're on Facebook or some other social media. You know, those sites are great to use to draw to your website, but you kind of want to dead end it there. But yeah, that's Chris Hong. Hopefully you guys like it. Just give me a thumbs up if you like it. And if you like to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you on the next Artist React video. See you guys.